In 2025, smartphones have evolved far beyond simple communication devices. They are our constant companions, seamlessly integrated into every aspect of our lives. They're our wallets, managing our finances with a tap. They act as personal assistants, organizing our schedules and answering our queries. And perhaps most significantly, they are the vaults of our deepest, most personal secrets, holding everything from private photos to sensitive documents. We trust them implicitly with critical business transactions, intimate personal stories shared with loved ones, and highly sensitive data that could have devastating consequences if exposed. This level of trust, however, makes them prime targets for hackers and malicious actors who are constantly seeking to exploit vulnerabilities for their own gain. The more we rely on these devices, the more attractive they become to those with nefarious intentions. The security of our calls, therefore, now extends far beyond simply protecting the content of our conversations. It means protecting our finances from fraud, ensuring our personal safety from stalking or harassment, and safeguarding our professional reputations from damage. Every call, whether it's a quick chat with a friend or a crucial business negotiation, is essentially a data stream, a flow of information transmitted through the airwaves. That data stream, if intercepted by the wrong hands, can be weaponized against us in countless ways, leading to identity theft, financial ruin, or even physical harm. The comforting belief that our conversations are inherently private is not only naive but also dangerously outdated in today's digital landscape. We must recognize the inherent risks involved in using these devices. Attackers are constantly finding and exploiting vulnerabilities in every layer of the communication infrastructure, from the seemingly innocuous cell towers that relay our signals, to the complex internet protocols that govern how data is transmitted across the globe. No part of the system is immune to potential compromise. A single intercepted call, a momentary lapse in security, can quickly escalate and lead to significant financial loss, draining bank accounts and racking up fraudulent charges. It can also result in ruined business deals where sensitive information is leaked to competitors, or even the complete exposure of your personal identity, leading to years of potential abuse. These aren't far-fetched scenarios from a Hollywood movie plot. They're very real and present risks that we face every day in our increasingly hyper-connected world. The stakes are higher than ever before. This guide will pull back the curtain and reveal exactly how eavesdropping happens in the digital age, exposing the techniques and technologies used to intercept our communications. We'll explore who is most at risk of being targeted, and most importantly, provide you with actionable steps and strategies you can implement right now to defend yourself against these threats. In the ongoing fight for digital privacy and security, awareness is not just important, it's your single strongest shield against the unseen listener in your pocket. Phone hacking. It's a term we hear often, but what does it really mean in the context of your personal device? At its core, it means unauthorized access. Someone, somewhere, gaining entry to your phone without your permission. This isn't just about someone glancing at your screen, it's a deliberate act of intrusion to your smartphone and its data. Think about everything you store on your phone: contacts, photos, emails, banking information, personal notes. All of this becomes vulnerable when your phone is hacked. It's like leaving the front door of your digital life wide open. Eavesdropping is a specific form, a particularly insidious type of hacking that targets your conversations. Listening to your calls without your knowledge. Imagine someone secretly listening in on your most private conversations, gathering information you never intended to share. It's a chilling thought and a very real threat. Attackers can hack your device with malware, malicious software designed to infiltrate your system and perform actions without your consent. This malware can come in many forms, disguised as legitimate apps or hidden within seemingly harmless files, or intercept your calls as they travel through networks. This is where things get even more complex, as attackers can target the infrastructure that carries your calls rather than just your individual device. Malware can record calls and send them to attackers. It can operate silently in the background, logging your conversations and transmitting them to a remote server. Network attacks can capture calls in transit by intercepting the data packets that make up your voice communication as they travel across the internet or cellular networks. Both methods violate your privacy, representing a serious breach of trust and security, but require different defenses. Protecting your device from malware requires a different approach than securing your network connection. Recognizing that threats can target not just one aspect of your digital life, but multiple points of entry. Both your device and your network is crucial for a comprehensive security strategy. Hacking is the method, the technical means by which attackers gain unauthorized access. Eavesdropping is the goal, the desired outcome of the hacking process, the ultimate prize for the attacker. Understanding these basics, the difference between the method and the goal, is the first step to protecting your conversations. It empowers you to make informed decisions about your security. Without this knowledge, without understanding the risks and vulnerabilities, you're exposed to invisible threats, vulnerable to attacks you can't even see coming. Eavesdropping began with physical wiretaps, manual, labor-intensive, and mostly used by law enforcement. As phones went digital, interception shifted from wires to software and network vulnerabilities. Early cell phones were unencrypted, making celebrity scandals common. Digital standards like GSM added encryption, but flaws persisted. Today, attackers exploit software bugs and network weaknesses, not just physical lines. The tools have changed, but the battle between privacy and surveillance is timeless. Our quest for private communication has always faced determined listeners. Hackers in 2025 use advanced spyware and hardware to eavesdrop. Spyware can be installed via phishing or malicious apps, silently recording calls and sending them to attackers. Zero-day exploits allow attackers to compromise phones without user action. IMSI catchers, or fake cell towers, trick phones into connecting and intercept calls. Once rare, now widely available. Attackers also target your ecosystem. Compromised routers or smart devices can be used to access your phone. Even Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connections can be exploited. Your entire digital environment is now an attack surface. One weak link can compromise your privacy. Anyone with a phone is a potential target, not just celebrities or politicians. Ordinary people face threats from stalkers, abusive partners, or nosy acquaintances using cheap spyware. Businesses risk corporate espionage. A single leaked call can cost millions. Journalists and activists depend on secure calls for safety. Compromise can be life-threatening. Authoritarian regimes use surveillance to silence dissent. Celebrities face extortion and public exposure. The risk is universal, and the motivations are varied. Imagine a tech CEO's assistant, someone with access to the most sensitive information within a company. They are the gatekeepers, the confidants, privy to details that could make or break deals, influence stock prices, or even alter the course of the company's future. But what if that trusted individual installs spyware, either intentionally or unwittingly, perhaps through a phishing email or a compromised website? Suddenly, confidential merger details are leaking to competitors, sabotaging a deal that was years in the making. The financial repercussions could be catastrophic, leading to lawsuits, loss of investor confidence, and a tarnished reputation. Or consider a divorcing spouse, embroiled in a bitter legal battle. Desperate to gain an edge, they secretly records calls, capturing private conversations, personal secrets, and potentially incriminating information. This illicitly obtained evidence is then used in court, gaining an unfair legal advantage and potentially swaying the outcome of the case, regardless of its authenticity or context. Activists, fighting for social justice and human rights, can be targeted by governments seeking to suppress dissent. These governments are using sophisticated tools, like IMSI catchers that mimic cell towers to intercept communications, and zero-click exploits that can compromise a device without any user interaction, gaining access to their calls, messages, and location data. This surveillance can lead to arrests, intimidation, and ultimately crushed movements, silencing voices that are critical for a healthy democracy. These aren't hypotheticals. These are not scenarios from a spy movie. They're real tactics used today, employed by individuals, corporations, and governments alike. For companies, the risk is immense. It means lost opportunities, compromised strategies, and potentially financial disaster that could bankrupt the entire organization. For individuals, the stakes are equally high. It's a personal violation, a deep intrusion into their private lives, and potentially legal ruin if sensitive information is exposed or manipulated. For activists who often operate in vulnerable positions, it's the end of a movement, the suppression of their voices, and the loss of the very freedoms they are fighting to protect. The technology exists, readily available and constantly evolving, and the stakes are incredibly high, demanding our immediate attention and proactive measures. Eavesdropping isn't just a technical issue, a matter of lines of code and sophisticated algorithms. It's fundamentally a human one, impacting our lives, our relationships, and our societies. The consequences are real, far-reaching, and potentially devastating, demanding that we take action to protect ourselves and our communities. Start with strong device security, unique passcodes, biometrics, and skepticism towards suspicious links. Only install apps from trusted sources and review their permissions. Keep your phone and apps updated to patch vulnerabilities. Use reputable security apps to detect threats. Regularly remove unused or unknown apps to reduce risk. Avoid sensitive calls on public Wi-Fi. If necessary, use a trusted VPN. Prefer end-to-end encrypted apps for private conversations. High-risk users should consider burner phones and minimal app use. Watch for sudden network changes. These can signal IMSI catchers. Layered defenses make you a much harder target. The future of call security is an arms race. Encryption and AI on both sides. End-to-end encryption will become standard, and AI will help detect threats in real time. Quantum-resistant encryption is on the horizon, but attackers will use AI for smarter, more targeted attacks. Vulnerabilities in hardware and software supply chains will be new battlegrounds. 5G and 6G networks offer better security, but also new risks due to complexity. Regulation and transparency will become essential. Security will require ongoing vigilance, not just better tech. Users must stay informed and proactive. The fight for privacy is continuous and evolving. In a world of invisible listeners, protecting your calls is essential. Use strong passcodes, keep software updated, and manage your apps wisely. Avoid public Wi-Fi for sensitive calls. Use VPNs and encrypted apps. Don't assume privacy. Be skeptical and vigilant. Educate yourself and your network. One weak link can expose everyone. Security is a shared, ongoing responsibility. Move sensitive conversations to encrypted platforms. Stay alert to new threats and adapt your defenses. Your voice is valuable. Protect it with every tool available. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and keep your conversations truly private.